What's going on, guys? Today we want to talk about entering the 1%. This time I'm ready. I did a little research. Do you know there are 3.5 million families, individuals, people in the United States with a net worth of 5 million or more? And this is the number. What you want to have is 5 million in income producing real estate, income producing assets. Because here's the thing, a lot of people, I do believe, get this millionaire conversation confused. Let's go ahead and walk down these two paths. Let's say that you went out and you got $5 million worth of real estate. That's the total net worth of the real estate that you control. But you have $4 million worth of loans on it. So even though this is income producing real estate, the amount of income that you're going to get is going to be quite small. You would need to have 15, maybe 20 million of real estate set up in this manner for you to get nice income. I'll tell you the story of a friend of mine. His father, who was richer than he ever knew, when his father died, his father left him $10 million. And he went out, very financially sophisticated person. He had a high paying job. So when he got the money, he was already living in the house that he wanted to live in. He was already driving the car. He was already doing the things he wanted to do. So there was no need for him to take this money to go out and get those things because he already had them. So 6 months after he had got the money from his father's estate, he went out and bought an apartment complex cash. Once again, he bought this apartment complex cash. There were no bank loans. And I do believe he was telling me, if I remember correctly, because this was a while ago, because he has moved up seriously, but I do believe that $10 million was producing gross revenue, I believe to be close to 800,000. It was his gross revenue. He had staff he had to pay and everything. But what I think is that 10 million leveraged into that real estate, I think he got like 700,000 or 750 after paying all expenses. So this one piece of income producing real estate, you want to start a business, you want to set up a holding company, an operating company. You want to get yourself some business credit. You want to learn how to run a business. You want to start your first online business. If you want to do that, and congratulations to you for being a person that wants more out of life, for being that person that's ready to sit down, do the work so your future can be brighter. I got something for you. Go below and enter into the Corporate Citizen Playbook, where we teach you all of that plus a lot more. Because you are not a normal, regular person. You want more out of life. You want to do more. You want to be more. You want to have more. And congratulations to you. So the link is below. Go ahead and check out this video. And then go ahead and enroll in the Corporate Citizen Playbook, where I teach you some things that you cannot Google. Can't Google it. Can't Google it at all. And give you some numbers. After taxes, because once again, it's real estate, so he was able to take significant deductions, which really watered down how much they would take in taxes. But I believe, once again, I'm trying to remember all this, but I believe after taxes, he had like $600,000 that went to him, which is $50,000 per month. Who couldn't live well off of that? So in having these conversations about becoming a millionaire, and this goes back to what kind of millionaire you want to be. Like, a lot of people are becoming what I call leverage millionaires. They'll have real estate, they'll have something with a lot of leverage. And this 3.5 million people with a net worth of $5 million, most of them are not in that situation. Because when you can get to $5 million in income producing assets, it changes the game. It literally changes the game. Because like I said, I did a little research. There's 22 million millionaires in the United States. the average net worth of the bulk majority of these 22 million, roughly 19 million, is $1.6 million. And that 1.6 is tied up in the house. We've already had this conversation. If you're living in the house, it's not an income producing asset. So that's a totally different level of wealth. And there was a book that came out many years ago which talks about these millionaires. It's called The Millionaire Next Door. And I'm about to really get off into some specifics, because the millionaire next door, he has a house, he drives a regular car, he buys normal clothes. If you as an individual has handled your money well, got to the point where your house is paid off, you have it to the point where you have 700, maybe $1 million in the stock market, congratulations, you have done well. You have done well. However, with the millionaire next door, there's a reason that they drive regular cars. There's a reason that they live in normal houses. There's a reason that they dress a certain way. It's called income self-sufficiency. When you have a limited level of income self-sufficiency, you can only do so much. Yes, they are the millionaire next door. Yes, if you go ahead and go into their books and look at their assets, they are a legitimate millionaire. But let's go ahead and have this conversation. You have the millionaire next door, 1.6 million, with a lot of that money tied up in a piece of property that they live in. So that property isn't income producing. So when you move it up, when you shift it up to 5 million, the game changes. And this is where you want to be. You want to get 5 million in income producing assets. Let me say this again. You want to get 5 million in income producing assets, because that's a game changer. That's a really big game changer, because I'm going to tell you, one of the fastest ways to get there is to start a business. You start a business, this will enable you to generate the income, the revenue to go out and purchase these assets. Let's have this conversation. Right now on the internet, there's a lot of interesting commentary about things that the average person can do with an average income to become wealthy. I'm about to be very cold-hearted. I feel that the majority of that crap is worthless. It will not help the average person achieve any level of wealth. You want to know why? Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. If you, once again, let's say your name is Billy, your wife's name is Jean, Billie Jean, and together as a couple, you make $70,000 a year. And you and your wife are really good stewards of your money. You manage your money well. You invest money. You can only invest $300 to $350 per month. Let's say you and your wife really flex it out and you go ahead and invest $5,000 per month, $500 per month, which is $6,000 per year. Go to the investment calculator online and go ahead and put $6,000 per year and take that to 25 years. You're not going to even get close to $1 million. Once again, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. Even though Billy, and Jean are doing the good things, they're managing their money well, they're staying out of debt, they're paying stuff off, they're not walking around with a bunch of credit card debt, they don't have enough capital to get into the finer elite status of millionaires, because there's just not enough money. And this is why I say that the majority of this commentary, because it's not based upon fact. The people who are spreading this commentary, talking about this commentary, I've watched them. Their lifestyle doesn't look that wealthy to me. If you're an average person with an average income, the chances of you becoming wealthy are slim to none. It's just not going to happen. Now, let's go ahead and say Bill, Billy, and Jean, they go ahead and start an eBay business, something that they can do in their spare time. And this eBay business, first year, only makes $10,000. There's the cost of goods. So after you subtract the cost of goods and eBay fees and stuff, you come out with $7,000 profit. And then they go ahead and stick with that, and they keep doing this and they keep working on it. And in 5 years, Billy and Jean have got their eBay business to $100,000 a year. Game changer. Because now Billy and Jean have the money to invest to become asset-based millionaires over 20 to 30 years because they now have the income. But here's where the story takes a turn. One day, Billy comes home and he looks at his wife and says, Jean, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to do this eBay thing full time. So they already had 100K, so there's plenty of money for him to quit his job and not suffer any financial consequences. So Billy works hard, and he takes that eBay business from $100,000 a year to $500,000 a year. Game changer. See, this is what we talk about here at Personal Capital. I'm not going to give you any fly-by-night stuff. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, you can do this income hack, or you can get into velocity banking and this could say, no. Once again, we deal with real numbers, real math here. And now that Billy has set his business up to 500,000, life has changed because, at this point, Billy lives in the town in North Carolina and he's made so much money, he starts to buy real estate and pay cash for it. And Billy keeps this up for 10 years. So now Billy has 10 pieces of real estate property that's paid off, and he still has his eBay business. Can you see the numbers? Because those 10 pieces of paid off property, that's retirement. That's passive income. But how did he get to those 10 pieces of real estate property? He started a business that increased his cash flow, that gave him the ability to go out and pay cash for real estate. See, this is what we do here at Personal Capital. I will tell you, and there will be a video coming up talking about the fastest way that you can get rich is to start a business, because all of this other stuff done correctly with the right level of capital can make you rich in the future. Let's talk about the future. I'm going to say that I started getting rich at the age of, because I got on this journey at the age of 32 and I started getting rich around 37. I want you to think about that. Do you want to be rich when I'm not 60 years old. I've actually got 4 years before I'm 60. Do you want to be rich when you're young? You can do stuff, you can enjoy your money. Or do you want to be a 65-year-old millionaire that's not really doing that much? It's very interesting when it's presented like that, because everyone's like, hey, you want to go ahead and invest this money, in 40 years you could be a millionaire. What about now? What about right now? Do you want to be a millionaire in the future? Or do you want to be a millionaire within the next 3 to 7 years? Big difference. Big difference. Because looking at this data of these 3.5 million families, once again, the 3.5 million include the net worth of 5 million and more. It includes the billionaires. See, in that 3.5 million number, it only goes up. And when you get to an income asset base of 20 million, that 3.5 goes down to 1.2 million. And when you get to 50, it goes down to like 500,000. But once again, we're going to talk about something that I feel that you can do if you have the right information, you have the right knowledge, and you have the right application to the business tactics. I feel that the average person can get to a net worth of $5 million within 10 years of starting a successful business and deploying the capital into the proper situations. This is something that I can feel that's 100% true, and this is something that you can do if you're willing to do the work and if you're willing to set yourself up. Now, to help you with that, we've got something called the Corporate Citizen Playbook. The link's below. This is about setting up your holding company, setting up your operating companies, getting your business credit, and more importantly, starting a business and doing the things that you need to do to make your business make money. The link's below. Go ahead and check it out. My name is Glendon Cameron. I'll see you guys in the next video.